Only half an hour, right? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, guys, today we are going to select error handling part in MuleSoft, how we can handle our errors. So first of all, you need to know like what is the error handling. So first of all, I'll show you one simple example so then you can understand what is the error handling. So for that, I'll take some DB example so that we can explain very clearly what is the error handling mechanism and everything. Let's see. For example, here I'm selecting the data. Okay, here I'm selecting the data. I'll run this application in debug mode for your better understanding.
Breakpoint button.
Yeah, we'll see breakpoint also. Once it is started, then I'll keep the breakpoint, no problem. Okay, so here you need to know only main thing is like error handling means you are not resolving the errors. Okay, just you are handling the errors. Errors means what is the error actually? It is the system generated message. When is the your flow got wrong, something if you configured wrong syntax or if you are writing some bad syntax, if you missed any kind of a logics. So we have usually we have two types of errors. One is the compile time error and runtime error. Compile time errors means these are the syntax errors. If you do that compile time errors, even your application will not deploy also. Okay, sometimes your application will deploy properly, but whenever you hit from the postman, then you will get the errors. Those are the runtime errors. We can call it as the runtime errors. Compile time errors, runtime errors. Compile time means while deploying time only it will throw the error if you do any syntactical mistakes. If you do any kind of a logic mistakes, then it will throw the error in a runtime level. But always it will throw the system generated message. Before that, I want to show you one kind of a happy path, nothing but so one successful scenario I want to show you. So after that I'll show you like how the errors will occur and how we can resolve that errors and everything I'll show you step by step. We'll see. So get flights, we have control C. I'm sending them request get flights. So now you are getting the response, but it is running in a debug mode, right? So let's run this manually. It is going to the flights DB and it is getting the data and it is returning to the browser. Now you can see this is all about your flights data. It is coming from the flights DB. Okay, so this is the happy path. We can call it as a successful path. So there is no errors. For example, by mistake I have configured something wrong. Nothing but instead of flights I have given something flights 1 by mistake I have given. So nothing but there is no flights 1 table in the DB, but I have configured wrongly. So what will happen then? We'll see what will happen. So my application is redeploying. Okay, still it is deploying. Yeah, now you can see. So I'm sending the request from the postman. Now this time you can see here you will get error. Okay, so now you will get error. Why? Because it will trying to get the flights 1 DB, but there is no flights 1, right? So that's why it is showing error here like training dot flights 1 does not exist. This flights 1 table is does not exist. It is showing. So that's why it is showing error. So then here this component will not execute this time. Okay, this component will not execute and it will return to the browser one error. Kind of this kind of error it will throw. So only you can understand these things like com.mysql JDBC exception, something error exception, something you can understand. Why? Because you have configured this thing, right? You can understand. But our end user, how he will understand actually. So why? Because we are not creating this application for developer purpose. We are creating this application for customer purpose. So customer needs to understand the problem. If you are doing any mistakes, customer also need to understand the problem. So how he can understand? So by seeing this message, he cannot understand, right? So instead of this, if you are sending proper error message like your DB is kind of thing, your server is not available, some kind of issues, if you are throwing such kind of proper messages, then you can understand. Some kind of a, for example, I'm creating this flights is fine. So in the connection, I'm giving some wrong credentials. Username I'm giving some wrongly. So username wrongly means this connection will not happen, right? I'm saving this application. Okay, here you can see DB bad SQL syntax, nothing but I have written wrong syntax for the query. So that's why it is throwing that error, bad syntax error. So then I have given wrong credentials. My username I have given wrongly, right? So then this time what will happen, we will see. I'm sending the request. Okay, still it is deploying. Yeah, here you can see it is redeployed. I'm sending the request. Now you can see. Now you can see. So it is running in a debug mode. So here it is trying to connect into the DB, but here it is failing. So it is throwing the error. Which kind of error it will throw? Again, it is showing like cannot get connection for this URL, something it is showing, right? Only you can understand this kind of message, but end user cannot understand, right? So for the end user, for the customer purpose, we are throwing some kind of a like readable messages. Nothing but a one proper error message we should throw. How we can throw? By using error handling. Okay, we need to handle this system generated error and we will assign some kind of a customized error message like a user readable message, like understandable message we will return to the browser. How you can set that message? Directly you cannot set that message. So for that you need to do the error handling. How you can do the error handling? So by using in a different ways we can do the error handling. First of all, let me show you how you can handle your errors. So I want to handle my errors in a flow level. So if you see, every flow have error handling part, right? So in the error handling part, you can handle your errors. So to handle your errors, you need some components. What are those? If you click something error here, you can see all the error components. By using unerror propagative and unerror continue, you can handle your errors easily. Okay, so these are the different purpose. We'll discuss these things also. So first of all, by using unerror propagative and continue, how you can handle your errors. First, I will drag the unerror propagative, and here inside unerror propagative, if you click on this unerror propagative, yeah, just here you can see different kind of configuration. Here you need to set the type if you want to capture particular errors. So now I'm raising the connection issue, right? If I want to capture only connection issues, if you click on search button, here you can see connection related issues. So here you can see multiple issues. You can see here. One second, I'll double click. Okay, if I click on here, what happened? Okay, it is not expanding. That's fine. Okay, here you can see here any option is there, nothing but if you got any error occurred in your flow, that error it will capture here. But if you want to handle specific error, for example, I'm expecting some connection issue. So that's why if I want to handle only connection issue, you have to select this connection issue. Okay, if I want to handle only query execution error, I need to select this one. Okay, if I want to handle any kind of error, simply select the any. So in this way you can handle your errors by selecting the type. As of now, I'll select the any type. Okay, otherwise if I want to return different individual messages, I can select the particular one. For example, I want to handle connectivity issue, so then I'll select the connectivity. So now you can see DB connectivity. I'm minimizing this. Now DB connectivity issue handling. So for this on error propagator, especially I'm handling the connectivity issue. So I want to return the message is like here I want to return a message is like error message I want to return. Which message I want to return? Connectivity issue. Okay. Connectivity issue I want to return. Directly I cannot return this message to the browser. Why? Because I'll show you. First of all, let me show you practically so then you can understand better. First I'll send, okay, but it will not return this message to the browser directly. Why? I'll tell you. We need to do some small setting for that. Okay, let me hit this application. Again, it is running in a debug mode, right? Now you can see first my flow is coming here, and after that DB. What happened? Why it is taking too much time? Something it is redeploying still. Okay, so again I'm hitting sending the request. So now it is coming to the DB. So it is trying to hit the DB, but username is wrong. So that's why it will go to the automatically this on error propagative section. Okay. So here also I'm capturing DB connectivity issue. So that's why it is coming here. From here it is propagating, right? So in the browser still you are saying that system generated error message. So how I can overcome this actually? How I can overcome this? Still I'm getting system generated message, right? For this you need to do one small setting actually. So by doing this setting, you can return this error message properly to the browser. Otherwise you cannot return this message to the browser. What is the setting? Okay, I'll go to the design mode. Open this HTTP listener. Go to the response tab. In the response tab, you can see error response. Okay, this is the response, normal success response and success headers. If you go down bit, these are the success status code and success something. Here you can see all the error part. Okay, here you can see all the error part. Here it is returning error dot description. What is the meaning of error dot description? So error dot description means it will capture the like already have told you, right? So system will generate one error, system generated error. This is in that system generated error, it is capturing the description and it is displaying the description here directly. But now I don't want all this system generated error description. I want payload. Now I have assigned some payload. That payload I want to configure as a error response. Go to the HTTP listener and go to the response tab and go to the error response section. Here I will remove everything. Simply I'll keep payload. So nothing but whatever I have payload in my flow. So in the error part, so that payload I will capture here. I'll send back to the browser. So even if you want to send proper status code also you can send. If you want to set some proper code, otherwise I can send dynamically also. For example, for the connectivity issue, I want to send some different status code. For the query issue, I want to send different status code. So for the different errors, I want to send the different status codes. Here I can take the variable vars dot something status code. So this status code wherever I want, I can set this status code and I can return this status code dynamically for the different errors, different status codes I can return. Okay, in this way you have to set. So now my configuration is done. Okay, if I'm not setting anything, it should return some default value, right? So for that also you can write some default value. Default value I will return as a 500. If I'm not setting anything in my flow, it will return default value 500. So in this way, you can set your error code. Error response is payload. My error code is var start status code. If I'm not sending any status code, it will return 500. Okay, my application got redeployed. Okay, still it is redeploying. Okay, then I can send the request. Okay, I'm sending the request. Okay, I think still it, okay, still it is deploying. Sorry, just wait, guys. Okay, now it is redeployed. I'm sending the request now. Now the request will come here, and this time you can see it is going to the DB and it is getting error. Then it will go to the error handling part. It will return. Now you can see proper error message here. What is our error message? Connectivity issue, right? So 500 default error code is came. If you want to set any error code, you can set along with this payload. You can set the some target variable. In the target variable, you can set some number also, status code. For example, if I want to set this kind of a something status code for connectivity చూద్దాం. Let's see. So they are saying like 400 something 401. Here you can see connection error 502 they are saying, right? So let's see 502 I want to give. How can I give the 502? Just here, just create a one target variable. So here you need to write status code. Whatever you have configured in the listener, same thing you have to give here. Okay, here this will create a variable, right? So everything I'll remove, just I'll give 502 bad gateway. Just 502 I'm returning. Okay, so payload is there and variable also I have created. I'm saving this application. Okay, I'm saving this application. Let's see. Okay, yeah, here you can see. Here I'm clearing the console. I'm sending the request now. Let's see. Then here previously you got 500, right? This time you will get proper error code. So here you will get error and it is going to the error. So now you can see 502 bad gateway something. Here will get proper error message. Along with the error message, if you want to send proper error code, you have to set the variable. So before that you need to configure that in a HTTP listener also. Okay, so that is the error handling, proper error handling you can do. So now in this way you can handle your errors in a flow level. This is the flow level. You can handle your flow level, your errors by using propagative, and even you can use the unerror continue also. The behavior will same, the only status code will change. Okay, the only status code will change. For example, in the same scenario, I will use the unerror propagative. Let's see what will happen. Error propagative. Sorry, unerror continue. Just I want to use unerror continue. Same scenario. Okay. So even though, okay, here I'm deleting this status code also. I'm not setting any status code, just I'm returning message. Okay, I'm returning message. Previously, if I'm not setting any error code, it is returning 500, right? 500 as a default error code. But if I'm using on error continue and if I'm handling the connectivity issue and I'm not setting any status code, I'm setting only error message. So if I'm using on error continue, what will happen? You can check. Okay, I'm saving these changes. Let's see what will happen. Okay. So it is double. Okay, so here you can see I'm testing now by using another continue. Another continue means both will work same. The only difference is like status code. Okay, in the flow level, the behavior of honor propagative and continue will be same. In a flow level, you can see sending the request, it is getting the error, it is going to the here, then it is returning. Even you can see, so I'm getting the error message with the success error code. If I'm using honor continue, I'll get the error message with the success error code. 200 it will return. If you are using honor continue, by default it will return 200 error code to the browser. Okay, these things you have to understand. So if anyone asks you like what is the difference between honor propagator and continue in flow level, so you have to tell, so the both behavior will be same, only the difference is like error code. So honor propagative will return the default error code 500, honor continue will return the default error code 200. That is the difference. Only you can see honor propagative and honor continue at flow level. Same behavior you can see in a different way in a component level. Okay, for example, I'm handling errors in a flow level. What is the meaning of error handling in flow level? Nothing but here you have three components, right? Just imagine here if you have 20 components. In the 20 components, if you got error occurred in any one of the component, directly that error will propagate to this flow level, and here we are handling the error. Okay, in that 20 component, in 18th component also if you got error, that error will captured by the flow level. Flow level nothing but in this entire flow, if you got any error, it will capture in a flow level. But if I want to handle errors in a particular component level, for example, here I have database, here I have Salesforce, here I have SFTP. So for every connector we have different error types. For example, I'll show you. So this is the DB, right? So I can handle this errors, DB errors in a only connector level. Okay. So how can I handle? So for that you can use the try catch model. It is not available in Mule 3, only available in Mule 4. There is one of the cool feature I can say in Mule 4. We can handle our errors in each and every component level. Let's see how we can handle these errors in a component level. So right click on this component and wrap in, select the try catch. So here you can capture the try catch. Same this entire thing you can move into this error handling section. You can see here I have moved all this global error handling part to the component level. So I can handle my errors in a component level. For example, here you can see in the search box I can see all the DB related errors, right? DB connection, DB, everything is DB. So for example, if I have any another connector, for example, I have some Salesforce connector. Salesforce, some create is there. So if I drag the Salesforce within the try catch, what will happen? In the catch block, if you drag any kind of a on error propagative or on error continue, what will happen? So here you can see, if I click here, you can see Salesforce connectivity issue, Salesforce invalid, Salesforce, nothing but each and every connector have their own error types. So that's why if you want to handle your errors in a connector level, then you can go with the try catch. So it is one of the cool feature I can say. So but in the flow level, if you handle in the flow level, you can see one drawback. What is the drawbacks? So if you are handling in a flow level, for example, I'm having errors in a database level, so it will stop the database level and it will go to the flow level. It will return from the flow level itself. It will not continue the remaining flow execution. For example, here I have 20 components. I got error in a third component. So if I handle my errors in a flow level, it will not continue with the remaining 17 components. But if I handle my errors in a component level, even though if you got error this particular component also, you can skip this component and you can continue with the remaining components. So for that, in the try catch block, you have to use the on error continue. But if I want to skip the flow execution immediately, same like as a like flow level error handling, in component level also we can handle that. We can handle in that way. So for that, you need to use the on error propagative. So propagative means it will work as a defaultly. Defaultly means if you got error, it will skip the remaining flow execution. It will throw the error. But if you are using another continue in a component level, it will skip that particular component and it will continue with the remaining flow execution. Let me show you how it will continue with the remaining flow execution. Okay, even I'll show you logger also. Response. I want to print this logger and I want to show you. First of all, I'll place on error propagative in component level by using try catch. Let's see how it will work. In the on error component, so if you are not configuring anything, by default it will take any. So nothing but any error occurred, it will come here. If you want to particularly handle this error, it will come here. Okay. So first of all, I'll apply the on error propagative. Let's see what will happen. This application is redeploying. Okay, I'm sending the request. So this time you can see, first it will come here. It will go to the database. If you got error occurred in a database, then it will go to the propagative section. So immediately it will skip the execution. These two components will not execute in the propagative scenario. Okay, you can see here. It is getting error. It will not go to this transfer message and list logger. Even you can check the logger also not printed. Even you can check the logger is not printed. This time connectivity issues came, immediately stop the execution. Even directly you can see the error message. Okay, 500 default error. But if you are using same place on error continue, what will happen? So here you can see the difference between the on error propagative and on error continue very clearly. In flow level you cannot observe that much, but in a connector level, component level, if by using try catch, you can easily understand what is the difference between the continue and propagative. Let's see. Connectivity issue I'll handle. Delete. This time you can understand clearly. I'm saving these changes. Okay, now you can see still it is deploying. Because of this connectivity issue, it is taking too much time to redeploying also. Okay, I'm sending the request. This time I'm using another continue. It is going to the database. We'll get error in the database. So then it will come to the here. Then it will go to these two components also. Previously it is stopped here, right? Connectivity issue, it is stopped the error and it will skip the remaining flow, right? Now this time it will go to the next component also. Even you can see this logger also will print. In this final logger also you can see connectivity issue. Here you can see 200 success with connectivity issue. This is the difference between the unerror propagative and unerror continue. So sometimes some people will ask in a different way also. In interview level they will ask in a different way. How they will ask? For example, if you have one other flow, like a kind of a flow, I will take private flow, I can call it as a private flow. So I'm writing all these logics in a private flow. Okay, just you can observe, I'll write all this logic in a private flow. So this db logic I'm writing in a private flow. Just I'm calling this private flow by using flow reference. Just I'll give some private flow here. Flow name is private flow. So this is the private flow. Here I'm calling this private flow. How can I call? Just simply select the private flow. Then it will go to the private flow. I'm changing the display name also. Now you can see I'm maintaining all the db logics in the private flow. So here I'm maintaining the flow level. Okay, here you can see I'm maintaining unerror continue in a flow level. So then the behavior will change actually. Okay, so here then it will same work like as a try catch model. You are maintaining your db in a separate flow, right? And even you can maintain here some logs also, before db, after db, before db. So here you can see after db. There is a lot of things guys in the error handling you can learn. Okay, after db. So here now you can observe very carefully what is the behavior. Okay, so let's see. I want to adjust. I'm getting error in this db connector. I'm handling in the private flow. I'm handling errors by using unerror continue. Okay, this time I'm using unerror continue. Let's see how it will work. I'm saving this application. This is very critical part guys to understand. So try to understand very carefully. So most of the interviews they will ask in this only. So I have one main flow and I have one some child flow. So this is the parent flow, child flow. In the child flow, if you are getting any error, so if we handle that error in a child flow by using unerror continue, so in the main flow, remaining flow will execute or not. They will ask in this way. So then you can check and you can tell. Okay. So then get flights. So now you can see the flow will come here. Then it will go to the this one private flow. In the private flow, you got error in the db. So then it will go to the error handling part. Then it will come to the main flow. So now you can see remaining flow execution is coming, right? So in this way it will execute. So try catch is same, and also like in the private flow if you handle the errors both are same, but in the main flow if you handle your errors that is different. Okay, and also they will ask like for example what happened if I'm using unerror continue here in the private flow. Everything you have to test. Okay, if you have any doubts you can test in a multiple ways, then only you can understand. I'll drag this transfer message. Okay, if I do not capture the error also that is fine. Any error it will come here only, right? So I have only one error, right? So automatically it will capture. If I'm using unerror propagative, what will happen? We'll see. Okay, so I'm sending the request. Okay, still it is redeploying. Okay, it is redeploying 2 times every time. Okay, I'm sending the request. Let's see what will happen. It will come here, it will go to the next, will get error, then it will go to the another propagative section. So from the propagative, it will not go to this transfer message and logger. Okay, just see that very carefully. So it will come to the flow reference. It will skip from the flow reference itself. It will not go to this flow. Then you can see connectivity issue 500 error. That is the difference you can see between the another propagative and continue. Finally, I want to tell you only one thing. So if you are using propagative, it will skip the flow execution immediately. It will not continue with the remaining flow. If you are using another continue, if you got error also, it will continue with the remaining flow execution. That is the difference you can tell in front of the interviewer. Okay, and sometimes they may ask in a different way also. For example, so in the private flow you have another propagative, in the main flow you have another continue. This is the one more scenario. Okay, so which error you will get, which error it will propagate, that scenario also you have to practice. Okay, so for example, here I'm getting connectivity issue, right? Same thing I want to maintain in a that main flow also. Just I will write private flow. Otherwise, here I can write flow dot name plus. I want to show you like in which flow like we're capturing the error. Again here I'll tag one more transfer message. I'll take this code. Let's see what happened. Multiple scenarios you have to check, guys. Okay, so like which flow it will print, we'll see. Otherwise, okay, I don't want to go this much critical. Okay, so this is the main flow and this is the private flow. Simply I'll give, I don't know, like that's why which flow name it will take. Private. Yeah, now let's see what will happen. I'm using unerror propagative here, unerror continue in the main flow, unerror propagative in the private flow. This time what will happen you can see. And next time I will reverse this thing. I'll keep unerror continue here, unerror propagative here. That is also one more observation. We'll see. I'm sending the request. Now you can see the request will come here. So first time it will go to the flow reference, it will go to the DB, then you will get error. Then it will go to the propagative first. Okay. Then it will come to the flow reference. Then it will go to the unerror continue. Unerror continue in flow level means what will happen in the main flow? Flow level means it will skip, right? Even though it is unerror continue, it will skip. You know, right? That behavior. So then it will not go to here. So that is the observation you have to keep. But anyway, 200 and a success message you will get. But it will not continue with the remaining flow execution. Why? Because already you know, right? Try catch block level, if you use unerror continue, what will happen? Flow level unerror continue, what will happen? You know. So try catch means it will continue. Like flow level means it will not continue, right? Same thing I'll do reverse. Okay, same thing I'll do reverse. So what I will do, I'll keep this unerror continue here. Otherwise I'll keep here only. Just I'll change the propagate to here. And here continue I'll place. That's it. Let's see what is the difference we can observe. Okay, so here propagate I'll keep. Okay, don't confuse, guys. So these are the multiple scenarios we can test in the unerror propagative and unerror continue. That's why I want to tell you. Okay, so let's see. I'm sending the request. Now this time you have to observe very carefully. Okay, still it is read up by. Okay, I'm sending the request again. Now you can see First the request will come here, it is going to the flow reference, and we are getting error in a DB. The error will go to the unerror continue. So next unerror continue, it will go to the flow reference, right? Flow reference. After that, it will not come to the propagative. Why? Because we are handling all of our error in a continue level, right? So in the private flow level. So that's why it will continue directly. Even it will not go to the propagative also. That thing you have to remember. Okay. So don't forget all these things. Yeah, in this way, now you can see proper message. Okay. You can proper message you can handle. 200 connectivity issue. Even though like if I got some other issues also I can handle. For example, I don't have some kind of a I don't have connectivity issue. Okay, I don't have connectivity issue. I'm removing the connectivity issue. Now I have resolved the connectivity issue. How can I resolve? Just simple new. I'll keep connectivity issue resolved. Okay, I'm going to the main flow. So now I got some other error. Okay, query issue I got. How can I handle this query issue? So I want to handle the query issue also. For that, I'll take one more on error continue. I want to handle the query issue also. How can I handle? So for this, just I need to select the on error as like connectivity issue. Okay, here I want to add one more issue, that is the query issue. How can I handle the query issue? Here you can see some kind of a bad SQL syntax. This will come, right? So I will guess this error type and I will capture, I'll maintain here. Okay, so Control C and Control V here. So then you can rename this. Now I'll change this message. This is the private query issue. Okay. So now I'm handling different issues. So this time what will happen, if I got connection issue, then it will go to here and it will print this connection message, connection error message. If I got something query issues, it will go here, it will print this message. So in this way, I can handle individual errors also by using different error types. This time, so I don't have any error in a connection. So I have only error in a syntax level. So then it will go to the syntax and it will print this. Let's see that thing also. Okay, so let's execute this. I'm sending the request. Okay, I'm executing this. So let's send this request. The request will come here. It's going to the database. This time I don't have connectivity issue. I have query issue, right? So directly it will go to that part. Okay, so here we'll get some kind of error. It will go to this part only. Okay. So finally you can place one more error continue. There you can keep any, nothing but if your error is not related to the connectivity and if your error is not related to the query, so then automatically if you got any other issues, it will go to the any and it will print the any error. Okay, that is the default error type. Any means it will capture any kind of error. There is, if you want to handle specific error type, you have to mention the type. Otherwise, you can keep the any. Any is nothing but generic type. It can handle any kind of error type. Okay, so then we have syntax error, then it will go to the main flow, it will execute the main flow. Okay, so private query issue. Okay, this kind of issue you can get. So in this way you can check all your scenarios for on error propagative and on error continue. Then what about the remaining components? Like if you see here error, if I type error, on error continue and on error propagative and rise error also. What is the meaning of rise error? So here I'm setting error message here, right? So in some scenarios you need to rise error actually. Here if you observe here it is generating DB connectivity error and DB SQL syntax error. It is generating by the system. I'm capturing that error. I'm returning the message. But I don't want to generate by the system. I want to generate myself this kind of error. How can I generate this kind of error? So system is generated DB connectivity issue related to this issue, right? It is generated by the system, this type, but I want to create my own type error. How can I generate my own type error? I'll show you that thing also. For example, here you can see, okay, first of all, okay, so here you can see some scenario, right? Choice condition, right? So first of all, DB. So if I'm sending name, proper name, if my name is there in the DB, so it will return the data. If my name is not there in the DB, it will return the empty array, right? This behavior. So if you want, I can show you also. Okay, I'll comment this code. How can I comment this code? Go to XML and keep this entire choice block. Where is the choice block? Up to here, you can see choice. Shift select చేసుకోండి first, then after you have to control plus shift plus question mark, so then you can see here. Okay, your code is in comment. So if you go to here, you cannot see that kind of code. Okay, let's see customer by customer name. I want to check this one. I'm saving. Let's see if I'm passing wrong customer name, what will happen. If I'm passing the right customer name, what will happen. Just I want to see. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so let's see here. So this is the general flow. Just I need to get the customer details based on the customer name. Query parameters I want to send as a customer name. Okay, so here what is my path? Get customer by customer name. This is my path. Get customer by customer name. This is my path, and query parameter I am sending customer name. So if I am sending some Niru, what will happen? We'll see. Okay, I'm sending the request. Okay, something wrong. By name, not customer name. Okay, I think it is redeploying. Just wait on. Okay, already it is redeployed. Okay, let's see customer by name only, not customer by customer name. So this time you will get the data. What happened? Double slash, right? Okay. So I'm sending the data. Now you will get the details of Niru. My customer name is Niru. Okay. So if I send my customer name is Ram, we'll see. I'm getting multiple details of the Ram. Here you can see all the Ram. So I'm getting multiple customer name with Ram. So I'm getting multiple. So if I'm sending some different name, for example, Shyam, I don't have Shyam name in the DB. So then it will return empty array. Okay. So nothing but I don't have data related to this customer name. So that's why it is by default, it is returning array, empty array. So here you can see. So this is the start logger. This is the DB querying their DB. If it is returning the data, it will return the data. If it is not returning the data, it will return empty array by default. By seeing this empty array, end user can understand like this customer name is valid or not. You will not understand, right? I need to return a one proper message like you entered your customer name is invalid. So please enter proper your customer name. That kind of error I want to return. How can I return? Based on this response. If I'm sending proper name, it is giving the response. If I'm sending wrong name, it is giving the empty array. Based on this response, based on this empty array, I can write the condition. If I'm getting the empty array, just I will set some message. If I'm not getting the empty array, then I will give the data, actual data. In that way I can return the condition. So same thing I have written by using the choice condition. Already I have written the condition and I am enabling that condition. Okay, I'm enabling the condition, then you can understand. So select all the commented code and control plus shift plus backward slash. Okay, backward slash control plus shift plus backward slash, then your code will come. So here my response is payload not equal to array, nothing but my response, I'm getting some payload response, I'm not getting empty array. I'm getting response means here I will send the as is that response. If I'm getting empty array, so nothing but this condition will fail. Empty array not equal to empty array means this condition will fail, right? So then it will come to the default section, it will print the message provided the customer is not available in the DB. So if you have empty array, then this condition will fail, it will go to the default. If you don't have empty array, nothing but you got some message, you got some like you got some data, then it will print this, like it will set the payload and it will return. Okay, for example, if you want to see, I'll show you in a debug mode, then you can understand. Okay, think already this application running in a debug mode, right? I will add the breakpoint here, so then you can understand very clearly. For example, if I'm sending Niru is there, right? So then if I'm sending the request will come here. So the DB data is there, nothing but not equal to empty array. Data is there is nothing but not equal to empty array, right? So not equal to empty array means this condition will satisfy. So then it will execute this flow. What happened? Okay, still the query issue is there, right? Think not there. What happened? Think this is not saved. I think choice condition logic is not saved. Let me save this. Just give me 1 second, guys. This choice condition changes is not saved. That's why. Okay, so my application got deployed successfully. Now I'm sending the request. So the request will come here. So already I have Niru data, right? So then it will go to the first block. Here you can see why, because I have already some data in my payload. Here you can see some data in my payload. Okay, some data in my payload. This is my data. That's why. So it is going to the first block and it is printing the data. If I'm sending some wrong name, so this is the blah 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 I'm sending. So I'm sending this data is not there, right? So then it will first it will check this condition. So already my data, like my payload is empty array. So then first condition will fail, directly it will go to the default section, it will send this back. Now you can see instead of sending empty array, it will set this payload, it will send this message properly. Now you can see provided customer name is not available in DB. Now you can understand, like provided customer name is not valid. So then you will enter proper name. Okay, so in that way you can reply to the browser. Just give me 1 second, I'm getting some noise actually. Who is doing that? Raviteja. Okay, so in this way you can set your own message based on the condition. So here I'm setting the condition, I'm returning the message, everything is fine. But here I'm returning with 200 code. It is not correct, right? I'm getting some error. Definitely I should return with this some error code. It is not happening here. Why it is not happening? Why? Because just I'm setting payload, I'm returning. I'm not here. It is not generating any error or any kind of thing. It is not generating, right? So that's why simply I'm setting the message, I'm returning to the browser. So I want to set the error. Okay, I want to raise the error. If my data is not there, so it will come here. I want to raise the error. What is the error I will raise? No data error, any kind of error I will write. Okay, So I will raise my own error in the default section. If I don't have data, I don't want to send directly my message. First I will raise the error and I will capture that error. I will handle that error and I will return this kind of custom message in the error handling part. Okay, I don't want to send directly this message to the browser. First, I will raise error. I will handle that error. I will set this message. I will send. Just I want to go with that error handling process. How can I do that? So for that, first of all, okay, I will raise error here. How can I raise the error? By using raise error component. Error. Raise error component you can drag here. In the raise error component, you can set your own type. Any type you can set. There is no doubt here. So for example, I will set my own type, right? Something mule or data something. Data colon no underscore data. So this is the otherwise custom error I am throwing. Okay, custom error I am throwing. Description also even I can write description. So what description I can write? This kind of description. Uh, this kind of description I can throw. So how this description will throw? Already have explained, right? In the HTTP listener, by default we have error description, right? That error dot description will capture this description and it will return. But if you keep the in HTTP listener, if you keep the okay here in the response section, by default you can see error dot description. So automatically it will capture this description and it will return. But if you want to set some payload and if you want to return, then that is a separate case. Okay, so as of now I will delete this. Here I will raise the error. Okay, here it will return that errors by capturing here. Okay, in the HTTP listener, by default we have this, right? Responses, we have error description. Let's see how this error description will work. Let's see. So I'm saving this. I'm getting this data like this time. So by using this general, I will go to the, by using this path I'll get, right? So go to the console. Yeah, my application got deployed. Still it is redeploying. Okay, so then I'm sending the request. Now I'm sending some different name, right? Obviously it will generate error. It will go to the first here and go to the database, getting the empty array. So it will go to the default section. It will raise the error. Now you can see it will set the description also. Here already we are capturing description, right? So same description it will return from here. It will not go to here. Okay, so here you can see from the error dot description we captured. Okay, so where you captured in the HTTP listener to the normal mode. In the HTTP listener, here system is not generating the error. Instead of system, we are generating the error by using the raise error component with the description, proper error code, error type. Even you can check the error type also in the console. Error type is we are generating custom error type and we are setting some message here and everything. Instead of system we are raising error here. Okay, we are returning this error in the HTTP listener. You can see responses section, you can see here error description. By using this you can return your error. So but I don't want to return as error description, I want to capture as a payload. So then how can I do that? So in the error handling part, again I can use the on error continue, sorry, on error propagative, anything is fine. On error propagative, same way whatever we have done for the previous. So here I can capture the, here you can see something db is not there, right? So don't worry, I will write this manually. I'll capture this, I'll capture here, type custom.any. So here I'll keep the one transfer message. So this message I want to write here. Okay, so message I'll write. JSON format. And already you know, right, how you can return the error code also, you know. So for example, here, if you want to return the error code, okay, status code, right? So for that you need to create the one target variable and the status code, click on OK. Here you can remove all these things. 404 I want to return, nothing but not found. So for this you need to do this setting, right? So you know, right, how to do the setting. Go to the response. In the error response tab, here you need to set the status code, like enable the fx var start status code. Let's save this and send the thing. Okay, let me redeploy. Okay, so here you can see cleared. I'm sending the request. Now you can see everything in a proper order. So it will go to the, it will give the empty array, it will go to the rise error, it will go to the error handling part. There we are setting our error by using on-error propagator. You know, right, on-error propagator continue. So then here you can see 404 not found. Here returning your error response as a payload. So in this way you can return your error message by using rise error component, try catch. I think we covered all of the things like rise error, you know, right? What is the, I'll show you. So here you can see on error continue, you know, on error propagative, you know, rise error, you know. So rise error for rising the customized error types and error messages. On error propagative means it will handle the errors and it will skip the remaining flow execution. On error continue means it will capture the error, it will continue with the remaining flow execution. So try catch means, you know, right, particular component level, if you want to handle your errors, you can handle by using try catch model. So then what about this error handler? So we can use this error handler as a global error handler. So for this I'll create a separate XML. Okay, so this is the last step we are doing in our error handling. So here you can see I'm handling some DB connectivity issue here, DB syntax here, and so in the custom no data found, this kind of error I'm handling here. Instead of maintaining all this error in a different place, if I want to handle all this error in a single place, how can I handle? So for that, simply I'll create a new configuration file. So this is the standards of real time, so that's why I'm saying. So here you can see something common, error handler. .xml. I'll create a one common configuration file. So in that common XML, I'll drag this error handler. Okay, even if you want to change the error handling name, you can change, otherwise you can keep as it is. Okay, this is the common error handling. Here you can handle all your errors, like you can capture all these errors, means you can cut from here and you can paste there. Okay, so I'll cut, go to XML, I'll cut this all errors, on error continue. This is the on error continue. Up to here I can cut. So here you can see, right, and I'm going to here, I'm going to paste here. Okay, for the example I'll drag one continue. So then in place of this continue, I'll replace all these things. Go to XML, in place of this on error continue, I'll replace all these things. Yes, now you can see connectivity issue, syntax issue. In the same way, I'll cut this one also, custom data. Go to XML, Here I can see on error propagative. Here end of the on error propagative unit is error. Don't cut this error handler. Okay, so error handler you should not cut. So error handler means it is, this is the error handler. Okay, error handling. Every flow we have error handling, right? This is that error handling. So I'll keep this here. Go to XML. In the end of the on error, continue. Inside error handler, you need to paste this. Okay, don't confuse this one. If you don't know how to do, like manually, you can drag this on error continue and you can set the type and you can set this messages. All messages you can set manually if you don't know how to cut and paste. Okay, now my flow is ready, everything is ready. I have handled all my errors in a global error handling. But here, if I want to handle my errors in a global level, I need to do one small setting. What is that? I'll tell you. Okay, just give me 1 second, guys. One second. Okay. Okay, so here you can handle all your in a global error handler, but you need to configure this. Otherwise, it cannot identify this error handler. Okay, how you can configure? Go to the global elements. Simply just first save this all these things. So then you can. Okay, just save this. So let's, okay, save all these changes. Then I'll create the, just I'll do that setting. Okay, otherwise it will not find out, even it is throwing, it will not deploy also. So for that, how you can configure this global error handler? So it is very simple. Go to the global elements, create the configuration. Okay, just go to the global configuration. In that you need to select the configuration. Just click on OK. Here it will ask for the default error handler. Okay, in this configuration you have to do these settings. As part of default error handler, you need to select the common error handler. So then your setting is done. So if any error occurred, automatically that error will propagate to this default error handler. So there you can handle all your errors in a single place. Okay, it is very easy, right? So you can maintain separate XML for the error handling and you can maintain. Now these changes will redeploy. What happened? Something is wrong. I don't know. So while cutting, pasting something, have done something wrong. Let me check. Oh, shit. Let me delete this one also. I don't want. What happened? Anything goes wrong? Let me save this. Everything done perfectly, right? And why? Let me check. What's the wrong?
ఏమన్నా ఎర్రర్ ఉంటే ఇప్పుడు గ్లోబల్ ఎర్రర్ హ్యాండ్లింగ్లో కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ XML లో కనిపిస్తుందా బ్రో?
Let me check here. I think it is not getting. Let me check. Here everything is we have done perfectly right. So why it is creating private inner float something differently? Okay, let me stop and start again. Any error? No, right? Flow level we don't have any error. Okay, let me deploy this one. Sorry, I need to deploy in a debug mode anyway. I'll stop this. I'll deploy in a debug mode. This is the last part, guys. Something happened. What happened? Something. Getting error. Let's see what will happen. It failed, guys. This failed. Null pointer exception are getting some inner v name. Nested exception. Private flow create inner v. Let me check this. Okay, I'll do it separately, not in this way. I think here we are getting this error. We need to know first something. Photo XML flow. Error handler, right? If you remove this error handler, what will happen? Okay, I think we should not maintain that error handlers. Sorry, guys. We need to remove all these things. One second. We need to remove all these things. We should not maintain these things. Otherwise, it will give us more problem. Here we have. Okay, so I have removed everything. That's it. Now it will deploy. Okay, if we remove that, then we need to remove that error handler also. That should not be there in the flows. Okay, you have to remove that thing also. Now it will deploy, then we can test. Okay, it is deployed successfully, right? Let's test this. Okay, it is still. Yeah, now we can test this. I'm sending the request. Now it will go to the DB and we are getting empty array, so it is raising the error. So directly it will go to the global error handling. You can see it is directly going to the global error handling. right? So from the global error handling directly it will capture here, it will return. Now you can see customer name is not available. So in this way you can handle all your errors in your global error handler. So by using all this on error continue and on error propagative. So in this way you can explain each and everything. Like error handler means if you want to handle your error in a globally, so we'll use this error handler. We need to configure this in global elements and we can handle our error, all errors like errors in a global error handling. By using an error continue and an error propagative, rise error, we can handle all our errors. So if any error occurred in a flow level, it will all errors route to the global error handling only. So by using all these components, we can handle all our errors. So in this way, we can do our error handling for any kind of mule application. Okay, that's it, guys. That's it for today. Thank you.